Goose Librarian. I know it's been a while. I've been thinking about not continuing on with my channel, but I was recently inspired by Jack from Share Book Joy, and I thought, well, you know what? I love it. I love talking about books. If I don't get many subscribers or people who are interested, I figure, oh well, it's okay because I'm enjoying talking about the books, and that's all that matters. So I wanted to start off today, before I get too far into talking about some of the books that I wanted to share with you. I've gotten some book mail, and I did open the top just so I could get into it because they're really challenging plastic packages to get into. So this first one, let's see if I can get it out of here. I might still need to use some scissors to get it out of here. Here we go. This one is one that I have been, Hooray for Hats by Brian Wan has been one that I have loved in the past. And this is another one, Hooray for Books. And I haven't had a chance to read this one, so I was excited to order it and look through the book and enjoy it. And I enjoy any books about books and reading, if I haven't already mentioned that. But I love his illustrations. His artwork is so cheerful and so sweet. So I can't wait to read this one, and I'll report on this one, I'm sure. Hooray for Books. And the next one I have, oh, this one I ordered. It says My Three Best Friends and Me. And this is about a girl who is blind, and her best friend, she's got three best friends that she hangs around with and enjoys spending time with, and it's about a little bit more than that. It's about overcoming a disability. And this, on the back cover, there's the Braille grid, so I thought that was kind of cool. And I ordered that because I wanted to read it. I've read it in the past. I had it, and I donated it to my school library when I was a school librarian. And it is a book that will be inspiring to me in my own picture book writing, in my own memoir writing that I'm doing. So I figured that was a good choice for me to put in my personal collection. Okay, so to start off with today, I have a pile of picture books as usual. Plus I have two other books that are not picture books, so to speak. But the first one is Mother Goose Rhymes, and this is a collection by oh gosh, I can't remember who. I'll link below my blog post where I wrote about this book. This is a vintage 1934, I think it was, book, and I could look, but I don't have my reading glasses handy to be able to read that super fine print. But it's illustrated by Lois L. Lenski, and you might recognize her name as the author and illustrator of Strawberry Girl, a Newbery Medal winning book from the late 30s, early 40s. Again, I'm not sure, I can't remember offhand when that won the Newbery, but this is a very pristine collection for the age of it, of Mother Goose Rhymes. And I collect Mother Goose books, vintage ones especially, and anything Mother Goose, any kind of Mother Goose type of paraphernalia. So that is a book that I came across during my recent antiquing trip. And if you hear clicking, that's my Pug's toenails as he clicks across the floor in the dining room where I'm located right now. And he just sat down next to me. He's wondering why I'm sitting in his bed, but instead of sitting on the floor, I just sat on his bed. It's more like a pillow, so I don't have to sit on the hardwood floor. Another book that I'm reaching for right now is called Picture Bookmakers. And this is a collection of essays or stories about picture book author illustrators and how they made their books. And in the introduction to this book, the editor, collector, I'm not sure what you would call him, I guess he's the editor, he collected these stories from the authors and illustrators about their books and their process for making their picture books. So this is really an interesting read for, as he puts it in the introduction, as he puts it, he suggests that it's good for anyone who loves picture books, illustrators, those in the publishing world. And there's all kinds of authors from all around the world and illustrators. And John Clausen is one such illustrator that you might recognize his work right away. He's on the back, his artwork, and also on the front cover, I believe. I believe that's his artwork. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that is also. So, excuse me. For those of you who are picture book connoisseurs who just love to read about picture books or love to read picture books, I highly recommend this collection of essays and stories that actually were inspired by the blog called Picture Bookmakers. So check that out too. And this is the book that was inspired by that blog to be a collection of stories. Excuse me while I get a quick drink. The next book I have is by Carrie Smith. If you're recognizing her name, you might recognize her name because she is the creator of the Wreck This journals, and she has a picture book called Wreck This Picture Book. And as a picture book lover, you might be thinking, but why would you want to have such a book? Why would you want anyone to wreck the picture book? Well, it's actually not necessarily about wrecking it in a way that's destructive necessarily, but it's a way, she talks about interacting with the book, and it's her classic illustration style, which is so much fun, where she uses objects to inspire her artwork. And I'm not remembering offhand what she used to create her artwork, but definitely check out a blog post. I think I wrote about this. I will again link below where I wrote about these books. This is just so much fun. She talks about using the book, interacting with the book, rolling down the hill with a book, dog-earing the pages, and how a book really isn't a book until you read it. And in the book, I will show you the dust jacket. If you take a look at that, it has directions for making these dolls that she uses in the book as part of her illustrations. And you can see them here on the end pages. Again, such a fun read. It would be fun to read with a group of children, but I think this would especially be fun to give to a child, whether it's your own child, a gift to a friend's child, a grandchild, just all about how interacting with your book and making the book yours is all about, so to speak, wrecking this picture book. Another book that I have that I've shared and talked about on my blog and in a newsletter that I write for the New York State Reading Association. This one is so much fun. This is called Pugs Cause Traffic Jams. I'm going to open up so you can see the full artwork on the cover. And the case cover is the same as the dust jacket. And so much fun. Beautiful little paw prints make up the end pages in the front as well as the back. And I am a pug mom, and I love pugs. So if you're wondering how pugs cause traffic jams, I will give you a little peek into this book. But I definitely recommend that you read this book and share it with a loved one or a child. That would be so much fun, because this book talks about a little girl whose pug gets out one day and she's searching for her pug. Where is the pug? Where did he go? And as she looks for the pug, she soon discovers that pugs cause traffic jams because her pug is out in the middle of traffic in a very unsafe way, I might add. But of course, pugs don't know any better. And along the way, as she's looking and searching for the pug and how the pug has gotten away from her, we are introduced to different dog breeds, because all the people that she encounters and asks if they've seen her pug have a dog. And we get to learn a little snippet about, in a rhyming, rhythmical way, about that particular dog breed. So Pugs Cause Traffic Jams is a lot of fun for pug lovers especially, but for dog lovers in general. The next book that I want to share with you is a collection of poetry and verses. It's called For Every Little Thing. And this has also beautiful artwork. I'll show you the end pages as a sample of the artwork. But each page or double page spread has a poem or a verse that is collected from all different religions and cultures. The authors have collected them, and one of the authors has actually written a poem or two in this collection. And there's all sorts of poets, some classic poets, as well as some modern day poets. So I recommend that you take a look at this to share. This is a great one. It's broken down into sections throughout the day, and a major part of the focus is on gratitude and enjoying everyday moments. This is one that I recommend for a Sunday school class, for a book to read with your child, even to share in your classroom on how we need to pay closer attention to everyday moments and how the little things are actually the extraordinary things. So For Every Little Thing, a poetry collection that I recommend. Come here. Mr. Wrinkles wants to make an appearance. He's trying to get into his bed where I am. So come here. Come here, buddy. Sit on my lap. And we'll show you to the booktube world. This is Mr. Wrinkles. He's a good boy. Sit down. Okay, the last picture book that I have to share with you today is called Berry Song. And this is written and illustrated by Michaela Goad. She's the Caldecott Award-winning medalist. And in this book, I wonder that her artwork is brilliant. And I wonder if this would also be a contender for the Caldecott medal for 2023. And I believe, yes, the case is still the same as the dust jacket. No surprises underneath there. But in this book, we learn about a young girl who goes out collecting berries with her grandmother. And they also collect other food and forage for other foods off the land. They look for salmon in the ocean and many different kind of berries throughout the season of picking berries. And as they do, they sing a little berry song, and their song is meant to harvest as they harvest the food, but they always leave enough for other animals to eat. They don't take more than what they need, and they're always expressing gratitude for that particular food that they forage from the land. And in the back, there's a lengthy author's note, which is absolutely fabulous, where Michaela Goad talks about her inspiration for writing this story is her own grandma would go with her to forage food from the land and pick berries, and how they made different kinds of foods out of the berries. You can see that at the bottom of, I think you can see that at the bottom of the page. And they're part of the Tlingit, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, tribe, and they live on an island off the coast of Alaska. Beautiful, beautiful book that I highly recommend that you add to your personal collection, your classroom collection, and it's a great read aloud for when you're talking about families and heritage and different kinds of things that families participate in and celebrate in their traditions. So those were just a few of my picture books that I've been reading lately. One of the middle grade books that I've recently read is called Hummingbird by Natalie Lloyd. Absolutely fabulous. I highly recommend that book. I gave it 5 stars. I will put a picture of the book inserted in this video. It's about a young girl, 12 years old, named Olive. And Olive has been homeschooled much of her life because she has a disease called, I think I'll get this right, let me see, osteogenesis imperfecta, which is also called brittle bone disease. And in the story, Olive wants to go to middle school because as I said, she's been homeschooled much of her life. So she wants to go to middle school to try to blend in and be a part of the normal quote-unquote normal life with other kids, and she hopes to meet her forever, as she calls it, her forever BFF. So she finally convinces her parents to let her attend the middle school, and when she's at the middle school for her first day, things don't go so well for her, and she is frustrated and disappointed. But she soon learns about a local legend about the hummingbird and how this certain hummingbird can grant your wish. And she sets out in search of some information or lore about this hummingbird, and she is determined to find that hummingbird so that she can grant her wish to be able to be part of the school and like everyone else. But as she searches her quest for the hummingbird, ends up, I'm not going to tell you too much more, but there are some changes in the way that she thinks as far as about her disability and about friends and about family. So it's a wonderful story about family and friendship and coping with a disability and learning to accept yourself. Highly, highly recommend Natalie Lloyd's Hummingbird. Well, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you find something wonderful to read, and I hope you will read some picture books with me. And I will link to my blog down below. My blog is also called Mother Goose Librarian, and I have written about these books in some more detail. Let me see if I can gather them up so that you can see some of these wonderful books. I'm not going to be able to get them all in my hands, but I will do my best. So, picture book readers, share in the comments down below some of your favorite picture books. If you think any of these books have sparked your interest and you're interested in reading them, let me know. I'd love to know more about your picture book reading habits. Have a great day and happy reading.